All hail to you, all Comic-Con, for these blessed trailers for which we are about to partake.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Hi, Comic-Con.
Hi, how you doing?
No, we have got a load of trailers this week. Holy shit.
Language.
Thanks, Cap.
Is it really that many more than usual?
We've got 8 this week, but not only that, but they're really, really, really good this week.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, the quality, yes, I can speak to, but I feel like it's about the same. I didn't really.
No, we usually have 6. This week we have 8.
Yeah, we're going to be here
Really?
for 5 hours.
I thought it was 7.
So we'll occasionally have 7
Normally.
if we miss a week, and we did miss a week this week. So
So
we're
really, it's just one more than when we do miss a week. So
It's still more. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Threading and Dreading.
You didn't eat your cookie.
Yeah, I know. I'm saving it for the hour mark. So this is like my second win cookie.
He was trying to behave when we start the podcast and not eat as we start.
For
But why
once.
hand out the cookies if you're not going to eat the
them.
cookies?
Yeah. I inhaled mine.
He's going to do his best Cookie Monster impersonation in about an hour.
Right.
Crumbs! Oh, no. What's going on?
Never you mind. Eyes forward.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Threading and Dreading. And as we mentioned, we have a pretty good list of trailers to get out this week.
Yay.
And we're also going to mention a little bit of feature presentations at the end.
Yay.
But to my left, we have the girl undressing.
I'm sorry. It's the fangirl extraordinaire.
How are you?
Really warm.
Yeah, it got warm as soon as I turned the fan off. I'm sorry. If we take a break in the middle, I'll kick it back on for 5 or 6 minutes so we can cool off.
Wow, do you mean it? 5 or 6 whole minutes?
I know, that's just like, oh, such a treat.
Sorry. How are you?
Jet lagged.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Yay.
I'm glad you made it back safe. You okay there?
Sorry, I'm sitting on my sweater and I'm trying to get it out from under my butt. Hold on. There we go. I got it.
I'm sure they could hear all the awkward shifting and moving under the
I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's
Crunching
fine.
fabric.
Oh, we're glad you made it back safe.
Thank
Welcome
you.
back. To your left, we have.
The goddess of gore.
And how are you?
Okay.
Good.
The way you said that, I thought you were asking the fangirl to introduce me.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I know, I was about to say.
We can start doing that. Each person introduces the person to their left. I like that. I think that could work.
Oh, no.
Everyone
The
introduces
person at
everyone
the end
else.
doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
And then they introduce me.
Yeah. And this is Fuckface.
You know what?
really
Each
want
week,
that to happen.
each week, someone's gonna have a different insult for me.
Oh,
like
yeah, I can totally do that. Don't you worry.
You know what? Let's start with that. Go ahead and introduce her.
But we've already...
Okay.
I
Never
think I
mind.
think we just collectively vetoed that.
Fine,
Maybe-
we won't do that then.
Maybe
Fine.
next
I'm still
time.
calling you Fuckface.
Maybe next time.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, we can do it there.
Right.
Okay,
Oh, from here
sure.
on. Okay. All right. And you are doing well.
I'm okay.
Good.
Don't put words in my mouth.
All right.
Okay.
But who do we have next to you?
To my left.
I know, I had to do that too. I have no idea which is. It's not gonna work. If he like throws it like
If we go counterclockwise,
Like-
it's going to completely screw you up.
yeah, like if you say like to my right, like we're all gonna be like, which is? I mean, I do that already, even though we only go left now. But yeah, I'm so screwed.
We'll reverse it for the anniversary, which, by the
no.
way, is in 2 weeks. Woo!
Right.
Anniversary
We're
podcast.
getting so
Wait,
old.
didn't we
Yay.
just have one?
I know that's what it feels like.
Didn't we just do something?
I think you're right.
Yeah.
We recorded, yes.
No, but you're right. There was something.
Something happened recently.
That was like a thingy thing.
Yeah.
There was a
A
thing.
special
that happened.
event.
We haven't had a special event since Christmas.
No, that's a lie.
That
That is a
Goddamn
bold-faced
liar.
lie.
Take it back.
I'll go back and look. I don't think we've had a special podcast since Christmas. But
Easter.
we didn't have an Easter one.
I don't
We
know.
totally did. We had a St. Patty's Day.
No, we didn't do that either. That would be great, but no, we did not do that. But yes, a couple weeks from now, we'll be having our anniversary podcast. And if anyone would like to submit questions like we always do, feel free to submit as many questions as you like. Just don't make it 2 pages long, please. We have to get through it in a couple hours.
Or we will not read it.
Or we will not read it.
Redacted.
Or we'll paraphrase it, just get down to 1 word out of 800. But yes, go ahead and submit those. And we'll give out some information at the end of the podcast for you. So anyway, you were making an introduction.
The Dystopian! Come on down!
Wait, should I... Is this my intro now?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, I'm here. Yep, this was exciting. This is good.
How are you, Dystopian?
I don't know if we
I'm
should do it
great.
again, though. I'm scared.
Yeah.
Too much pressure. I already have enough pressure introducing myself.
Horrifying. No, I'm well.
Good.
Yeah.
You're not-
Speaking of getting directions wrong, I was telling the little one the other day about directions. She kept using the wrong direction. So we were showing, hold your 2 hands up, the L on your left hand, right, that your pointer finger and thumb makes. So she was like, oh, okay, cool, and she got it. And then later in the day, I got my directions wrong, and she totally showed me, like, oh, you just put your hand up. Like, you're right, sweetie, you're so right. I'm so dumb. Great. This is good.
Your other L.
Yeah. Stupid, it's your other right.
Good for her.
Yeah, right.
But welcome back. I'm sorry you're not feeling too hot today.
Allergies, they happen.
Nah.
Womp womp.
August allergies.
Yeah.
Is August already?
No, it's still
It's coming up
July.
soon.
Oh, I was.
Yeah, I
was
totally
really
agreed to it,
scared.
too.
Yeah.
Guess we don't need
Today's
this
only
week.
the... What? Reek?
No, not reek.
No, not reek.
Oh, reek. Oh, no, I'm sad.
Wait, don't say anything.
Don't say anything. We're not caught up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
You.
Because I've been seeing things mentioning his name, and I'm like, nope.
Don't do it.
Anytime I see anything that's even remotely related
I-
on Facebook, I
Well,
just scroll.
we can
Yeah.
talk
I
about
quickly
it.
scroll.
We can talk about it in the post show.
No.
No, they
No.
just said that they're.
No,
After
not,
we
not what
watch it.
happened. Just talk about the show in general.
Oh, okay.
I won't spoil anything that happened.
I will cut you.
Yes,
You
you
should
will.
just cut him beforehand so he won't.
Whoa! Doesn't need that.
You will end up like the Bolton
just
flag.
saying.
You,
Doesn't
I'm
really.
just saying. It's
Yeah.
preventative measures.
you
Not-
will be
not
the
okay.
Bolton flag. So don't be quiet.
Not okay. And to my catty corner is fuckface.
Yeah, fuckface. I'm just going to go with whatever insult you give
Good.
me.
It's poopy pants.
Poopy pants.
If I go with it, you mean just repeat it?
Yep. Let's repeat it.
It's like Moe's Tavern when Bart calls in.
Yeah.
My crotch. Anyone see my crotch?
I miss those. Oh, anything to share before we get into the trailers?
I'm gonna eat a cookie in about an hour.
In an hour. Only in an hour. We'll be timing it. What, you have raising your hand? You don't have to raise your hand. Go ahead and speak up.
Looks like she's about to
Hook.
test,
What? She's
What?
like testifying. Like she looked like she was in church for a second. Like
Praising
nope.
Comic-Con, yeah.
Yeah.
I know that it's been a while, but Rogue One just made its way onto Netflix,
Yeah.
so
Oh.
I just saw it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was really good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Someone was kind enough to get it for me for...
my mom.
Yeah.
Whoa!
I was like, it wasn't me.
No, I know.
I hate you.
Yeah, you got me Doctor Strange.
Yes.
Yes, which was also very nice. Thank you. But yes, your mom gave me Rogue One, and it was amazing. I absolutely
really
loved it.
good.
Yeah.
And that's the debate right now of which is better, Episode 7 or Rogue One. And I kind of have to say, I think I like Rogue One a little bit better than Episode 7.
Yeah.
I think I liked Rogue One.
They're good for different reasons. The narrative and atmosphere and feeling of Rogue One is way better.
Yes, I agree.
It's not as fun of a film, but it's
No.
not made to be either.
Right.
Like I like the film that Rogue One is generally more than what Episode 7 is.
Right. Now, that being said, Rogue One still had problems. I mean, there were a couple conceptual problems with the film because there were a couple elements that you had to have seen, like Star Wars Rebels or Star Wars Clone Wars, to really get the backstory of a couple characters. Like
what?
Forrest Whitaker's character.
Right, I know he was from that, but
I
feel
haven't.
like-
Go ahead. I'm interrupting everyone.
Not me, because I wasn't
right,
saying
look,
anything.
We're gonna tag team this bitch right now. I'm gonna say why it didn't matter, and then you're gonna say why it didn't matter.
And then can I say why it didn't
What if I
matter?
was just going to say it didn't?
Yeah.
Not the why. Can we do that?
We could do
and then you can say
okay,
the
look,
why.
then you start
Yeah.
us off.
Okay. So I haven't seen any of those things, and I could still follow and understand.
Yeah,
Oh,
bitches,
me-
now you
me
shut your
too.
mouth. It's my turn now. I didn't see any of those shows. Didn't matter one bit because
Me too.
they wrote it so well. You don't have to know the backstory.
I agree. I agree.
No, but you're about to say but.
No.
Yeah, he is.
Don't do it.
Although.
No,
That's the same freaking thing. I hate when people do that.
Yep.
They think they're so smart.
don't you giggle. No, no, no,
No.
no.
Okay, let him make his stupid point.
I'm so happy.
We don't have to get on this.
Oh, now we have to.
Yeah, of course
I'm
we do.
sorry.
I
we have
really
to.
liked Rogue One.
Well,
Good,
but
we all
did.
you were the one who opened this door.
You did. You only have yourself to blame.
Good.
I just think that there were some moments in the film that could have needed a little bit more. And I hate even saying this. One more exposition moment, just because there were a couple caricatures, not characters. You know what I mean? But
Right.
but
I know
understand
what
that
you
because
mean.
there's unfortunately there to be cannon fodder in the end, which is a shame. But
I wouldn't
I don't
consider them to be
think
canon.
so.
I mean, they died, of course. Spoilers, boop. But
no, but
You don't know who. You just said
yeah,
they.
yeah, those
knows?
guys.
But I did
Use
like
guys.
But I did like those characters. I'm not saying I
Yeah.
hated any of them. All the characters were good. So
Yeah, they were.
no, but I liked the film. I really liked the film.
I think
So-
more exposition would have weighed it down.
Yes.
Oh no! I'm not saying like a lot more. Just like a sprinkling more.
Yeah, I don't want
a twinge more.
Nope,
I don't think
no
it was
twinging.
necessary. Like, I understand you're saying that, that it could have benefited maybe a little bit, but I don't think it needed it at all. Like, there are some movies, like, for example, Doctor Strange, where I feel like that could have benefited from a little more exposition and less.
Whoa, no, okay, time out. What was that?
Are you okay?
angsty Benedict Cumberbatch
No,
drama.
my hands are broken and life's hard.
Yeah. So that I could have been.
Okay, hold on. You're turning Benedict into Napoleon Dynamite. Please stop.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think Rogue One necessarily needed anymore.
Okay, all right.
I liked it a lot. It was really good.
I really
Maybe a
liked it,
director's cut will give you your wish, though.
That
Yeah.
may be.
It'll just be Forrest Whitaker for an hour telling the backstory of the
God.
rebels.
I don't need that.
Come on, children, sit around and let me tell you the story.
You see Jin look at him. Oh, which eye do I look at? Oh,
Yeah. Whoa. Yeah, whoa.
I'm sorry. On that note, let's get right into the trailers.
Yay.
First one being Geostorm.
Thanks to a system of satellites, natural disasters have become a thing of the past. We can control our weather.
Mr. President, one of our thermospheric satellites malfunctioned over Afghanistan.
So your proposal is what?
We shut down all satellites.
I don't need to remind all of you how many people died from catastrophic climate conditions.
Make sure there's no further incidents.
Are you going back up to space?
I'm coming back. I promise.
Have a safe trip, sir.
Just don't touch anything.
Main engine start.
Ooh boy. Starting off with a bang.
Finally, they're admitting that they could control weather the whole time.
Yeah.
I knew it, NSA. I knew it.
With your radio waves and your
Right.
gunpowder and the clouds.
That's right. That's why I put my tinfoil hat on at night to sleep.
Directing this, we have Dean Delvin. He's been a screenwriter for many years. He actually wrote the screenplays for Independence Day 1 and 2, as well as Godzilla in 1998. He was a producer on Eight-Legged Freaks, but this is his directorial debut. So,
I actually liked Independence Day too.
oh no! Oh wait, which one? Two.
It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Like, it was fun. I saw it on the plane, so that probably also was.
I did want to see it. I just never got a chance to see it.
It wasn't
Yeah, same.
bad. Like, it wasn't terrible.
The reviews were not kind.
But it wasn't terrible. Like, it was fun. It was just like, hey, I have nothing to do for 16 hours. I'm going to watch this. So
Fair enough.
You watched it for 16 hours?
No.
I know, I'm kidding.
Wow. Impressive.
And then Liam Hemsworth is in it,
Right.
too.
Oh, okay.
He's dreamy.
Okay.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. I mean, I like Chris better than Liam. But,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Foreshadowing Thor abs. Everyone remember Thor abs.
Is that a new workout video?
No,
Yeah, I'm like, what is that? I know. Like, what
it will be
Get
important.
your abs crunched with lightning!
It'll be an important part of a later trailer.
Okay.
His abs specifically?
Oh, most definitely.
Moving on. In this film, we have Gerard Butler. We have Jim Sturgis, who was recently in Cloud Atlas. We have Abby Cornish, who was in Sucker Punch, as well as recently the remake of RoboCop. We have Ed Harris. We have Catherine Winnick, who is currently in the Viking series. We have Andy Garcia. And we have Daniel Wu.
Daniel Wu! I love Daniel Wu!
He's currently in Into the Badlands, which I haven't seen, but I've heard good things about. I want to get into it.
Yeah, same.
Here's another example of a film that has been in pre- and post-production hell for a while.
Oh.
This was slated to be released back in March of 2016.
It's not that bad.
I mean, it's been in production since 2014.
Ooh.
It was
Not as bad as Don Quixote.
No. It's supposed to be released close to a year and a half ago. But Warner Brothers pushed this film back to make room for Batman vs. Superman, which was released in March of that year, because they're really trying to push those films out. It was then set for release last January. Now, as we know, if you release your film in January,
it's a dumping ground.
It's a dumping ground. And so the studio said, well, maybe we shouldn't put this big budgeted film in January, because
The
we are not...
January dumping ground.
Yeah, we have to say it like that now.
Sound like Eeyore. January dumping ground. Oh, bother. So then they decided to push it back to this October. Now, I don't know if it's because... Well, the first one is understandable because they had to push back for Batman vs. Superman, but I don't know why they decided to push it to January and then push it back almost a full year after that. It's confusing for something of this big a budget. And this kind of, I would say, a fairly big cast behind it. Mm-hmm. Now, the concept of this film is that it's set in presumably the fairly near future. There are several huge satellites orbiting the Earth that can control the weather. They shoot off these little rockets into packs of clouds and disperse hurricanes, thunderstorms, whatever it may be. Well, of course, this system goes awry, and one day in Afghanistan, an entire village is frozen. Of course, Afghanistan.
Yeah, I know.
That can only end well.
Because fuck those people. Apparently.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So
No, that was. I was like,
yeah, you couldn't have picked anywhere else. You know,
Fuck them.
random. Anywhere else.
anywhere else.
Yeah.
But Gerard Butler apparently works on these satellites, and so they send him up to try and see what's going on, at which point these satellites just start going haywire. Like, they're focusing sunlight on one little area and, boiling concrete, and they're creating massive tidal waves. They're freezing entire coastlines, and I believe it's stated that someone is controlling this. It's not just a malfunction anymore. So they understand basically this is an attack. They don't know from who. They have to try and shut down the whole system, but the only person who can do that is the president.
But,
so
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know. So it's basically a race against time for both the people on the satellite and the people on the ground who are trying to get the president to shut everything down. So I'll just go ahead and say it. This is just a big budgeted sci-fi film. That's basically what this is. I mean, put it up there with Ice Tornado and Sharknado and Sand Sharks.
Oh, you mean sci-fi as in the
Yes.
channel, not like...
Yeah, I'm like
I'm just
because
like,
again, I always
okay.
have to
It's pretty
specify that
obviously-
now.
Yeah,
It's pretty obviously
like,
sci-fi.
yeah.
Yes.
So I was just like,
SYFY, yes.
You bastards.
I know. Yeah, this is just a big budgeted sci-fi channel show.
Right.
What are your guys' thoughts on this one?
Seems like it wants to be too many different movies.
Yeah.
Agreed.
It has an identity crisis.
Yes.
Oh, yes, it does.
Got way too much going on.
And also, it just looks really stupid.
The concept is interesting.
But the execution is really...
No thanks.
Well, I mean,
I don't know. I mean, like, most of these, like, disaster movies, like, in the movie itself, are more serious. The characters are more serious.
Correct.
Whereas, even if, like, the movie is meant to, like, be kind of over the top and stupid, kind of like San Andreas.
I was just about to say, San Andreas is a good example.
Right, but the characters in the movie were serious about everything.
Right.
This one, not so much.
They're being...
It kind of, like, takes you out of it as the viewer. Yeah.
Right.
I think.
Sure.
Like, at the very end, when they're dodging in and out of traffic, the Secret Service agent is driving that self-drivable taxi, and she's weaving in and out, and Andy Garcia says to the guy, marry her. Right.
Yeah.
Is that appropriate right now, guy? There's thousands of people dying around us.
Mr. President? Like,
well, considering what our current president says.
Yeah, let's not go there. We're not going there.
Or just picture if it was LBJ. He would have said some choice words.
Oh, yes, yes.
But my question was, like, weren't they trying to shut the program down before anyway? Like, in the trailer, didn't they say they wanted to try to shut it down anyway?
Yes,
and
they
then
did.
like, weren't they going to do it? And then Gerald Butler was saying, like, oh, but, like, because there's so many advances with this, we put so much work into it, we really shouldn't, or something.
Well, there are some people who are saying we should shut the whole system down.
Right.
To which some people said, if we do that, there's going to be a lot of natural disasters that we can't stop.
Right.
And so they're saying, well, let's try and fix the problem first before we shut the whole thing down.
But then those people later on was like, we got to shut this down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yes, stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Why it could only come from the president of all people is really, really, really fucking stupid. Like, if he there is no reason why only he could have the kill codes.
For a global program.
Right. I agree. Because at that point, you're basically saying these satellites are nukes.
Right, yeah.
They're not nukes.
Yeah, I wonder if how they're going to explain that in terms of...
They're not.
Okay.
Oh, nice try.
Yeah, I know.
The president is the MacGuffin. That's what he is. He's the thing people are trying to get after to save the world. So they're literally making the president a MacGuffin. So
President MacGuffin.
President MacGuffin. Yeah. If I ever write a film, that's what I'm naming my president. Nice. President MacGuffin.
Like, also, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I feel like the editing of this trailer wasn't very good.
No, it was not.
Yeah, because you couldn't tell the things that they're talking about happening. Are they stuff that happened before they instituted these? What are they called? Satellites, or happening because of whoever's taking them over?
Yeah.
It was, I couldn't follow it. I didn't want to watch it.
Yeah. Like, it just didn't make any sense. There was no flow to this trailer.
No.
It was chunky. It was...
Chunky.
Like...
Thick and chunky trailer.
It really was. You couldn't
It's been in the back of the fridge for too long.
Can't get through it.
No, you're right.
But no, it as the goddess said, it really just, you couldn't get through it. It was so freaking thick and chunky.
And you had mentioned the tone of this trailer. The first teaser that came out was very, very serious.
Yeah.
Almost comically so. Like, I think it was like America the Beautiful was playing in the background and all these disasters were occurring. Yeah. And then, they're screaming and hollering as that plane comes crashing down in the middle of the street. It was really serious. And now the tone of this one is, they're just having a good romp trying to save the president. And Gerard Butler is doing his best Sandra Bullock impersonation in space. Oh, look,
Yeah, it was the exact opposite.
I also don't like Gerard
Butler.
I
don't have any problem with him.
Butler. I don't like him very much. Like, I'm not a big fan, so that didn't help.
I will admit he picks odd movies. Like, he had 300, which set him up to be like...
really good.
Yeah, which was good. It set him up to be like an action star. Then he went off and did P.S. I Love You, and started picking really weird films. It's like Gerard, what the fuck are you doing, man?
Yeah.
You know, like pick a genre and stick with it, please.
I mean, I'm okay with him exploring. It's just that
It's weird.
it's not great movies either that he's
Right.
choosing.
Right. Then he decided to be the Phantom and Phantom of the Opera. It's like, oh God, please no.
Yeah. Not great.
No.
Not great.
But I mean, I really like Daniel Wu. That's like the one reason where I'm like, I kind of want to see this.
Who is that?
The one Chinese guy that was in the trailer.
What else has he been in, though?
I mean, he's been in a lot of Chinese movies that I know of.
Yes. He's like I mentioned, he's the lead in Into the Badlands, if you've seen any of
was
that.
in the
He's the lead in that.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's also
Gotcha.
in the new Police Story. Looks really dumb, though.
It does. And I can be okay with a dumb blow up the world film like the Goddess mentioned San Andreas, which I think is a good example of that. I mean, San Andreas.
Well, that was a natural disaster, not a blow up the world. Or you mean blow up the world via
natural disaster? Yes.
Because I think I was okay with Day After Tomorrow when I saw it.
Yeah.
Because I thought that was
Yeah.
Plus, it's fun seeing those in the movie theaters because everything's so big.
So big and stuff.
Yeah.
But as you said, this one seems like it was having an identity crisis. Is it a terroristic plot? Is it a natural disaster movie? Is it a space movie? What the fuck?
Is it a kidnapping movie?
Exactly.
Yeah, you're absolutely right on all those points, and I don't plan on seeing this. No. I mean, like you said, maybe on the big screen this would be impressive and cool, but even the effects I don't think looked that good. The tornadoes did not look good. They looked like something out of the Sci-Fi Channel. So, no, I'll pass.
Yep.
Nope.
Passed for me too.
I'm totally gonna go see it.
No, okay, I'll sit with you.
Jeez.
Moving on to our next trailer, which is Jigsaw.
Any identification on the victim?
Puzzle piece. But Jigsaw has been dead for 10 years.
It's not him. Can't be.
This was on the body.
The truth will set you free.
Directing this, we have the Spearig brothers. Their main directorial credit is Daybreakers. Don't know if anyone remembers seeing that.
I don't think I saw it. It was
Ethan Hawke.
Vampire. Oh, yeah. We did see that.
Vampires?
Yeah.
Because there were two movies that came out around the same time, I think, that were weird, maybe not vampires, but weirdish kind of things. One of them was Daybreakers, and then the other one was the other movie I never saw. But
okay.
I did see that one.
Yes.
Side note, sidebar.
That's all right.
Sorry you had to listen to the last 10 seconds.
That's fine. No, I like Daybreakers.
Thanks.
I like Daybreakers. It was a different kind of concept. It was, not to get off on Daybreakers, it was where the whole world is vampires and they're running out of human blood. So they have to try and figure out.
That's so sad.
Yeah, so basically... So it becomes this thing of, well, do we sacrifice the remaining humans for the good of vampire kind, or do we find something synthetic? And, it was an interesting concept. And
I never thought about that.
Yeah. I think you would like Daybreakers. We should watch it sometime. In this film, we have Tobin Bell, who is, of course, the original Jigsaw from the Saw series. We have Laura Vandervoort. She was in Smallville as well as the series V. Don't know if anyone watched that. We have Colin Keith Renee, who was in the series Battlestar Galactica. Now, it must be noted that no one from the original Saw series is attached to this film other than Tobin Bell. I mean, even James Wan, the original writer and director, is not coming back for this film. So they're basically saying this is a whole new spin-off series that's not going to be tied in any way to the Saw films, with the exception of Jigsaw himself. So, was anyone here a fan of the Saw films?
Yeah.
Let's say, Goddess of Gore, I'm sure you were.
I have never seen them, so.
Oh, I think the first one was, the whole, twist, I think, was good. Mm-hmm. And then the other ones is more what kind of crazy contraptions and stuff are they gonna have to deal with?
It started becoming the torture porn of Final Destination, where each new film is trying to invent a new way to kill somebody. Yeah. And I actually still like the first 3 in the series.
How many are there?
There were
There's like 7.
There were 7.
Yeah,
Oh my
god!
god.
I haven't seen all 7 of them.
Well, the thing is, those films had a quick turnaround. The first film was shot in 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, that was it. Was shot for little to no budget, shot in 2 weeks, and that's what made it keep coming back. Is that they made them for really, really cheap, and they were able to get them out real quickly. So there was one every Halloween for about 7-8 years there.
Wow.
And I didn't see any after number 4. I didn't see number 4, but I did see number 6, I think. But that was the exception. I don't know why. I just saw that one randomly. I was working at the movie theater at the time. I was just like... Because at that point, I'm sure the guy was about to say, Jigsaw died. Jigsaw died in the 3rd film.
What?
Yes.
Not my Jigsaw.
Yeah, so... They kept continuing the story of who's going to take up the mantle of Jigsaw, and it just got really, really ridiculous. I mean, you already had to suspend a certain amount of disbelief with these films, but then you're suspending it even more because the plot just does not make sense anymore. Like, who is continuing this? The title of Jigsaw just is stupid. But in this, apparently Jigsaw is back. You hear his voice. They find his DNA under the victim's fingernails.
It was all planted by someone.
Yeah, probably. But how are they getting his DNA? You know,
That's
I mean,
Easy.
Not difficult.
to get someone's DNA?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
They could have, like, while he was alive, especially because he was, like, in the hospital or whatever, they could have taken some of his old blood.
Oh, that's true.
And then just put it in a syringe and put it underneath.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait. Are you Jigsaw?
I can't answer.
What a twist!
He's the one who's keeping his body on ice.
Right. You know that extra freezer you guys have?
Yeah.
I know you guys haven't looked in our basement. That's what that first scene is in that, where we got 5 people chained to the wall with all the buzzsaws on.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, ignore the screaming.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, this series.
Bucket heads.
Yeah,
That was
all bunch of
weird.
bucket
Yeah. Like, what the fuck? The fuck am I looking at?
That was so stupid.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know why they all have buckets on their head. There's no reason for that.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
Bucket.
Unless there was, like, some... but I don't know how that whole contraption worked. They're all being pulled by a chain around their neck. I can only assume that maybe, like, there was, like, a blade that would only go into their eyes or something, and that's why it was there, but I don't know. It just...
Or maybe, maybe the bucket reinforced their neck so that, like, if they're being pulled, because otherwise your neck would just snap if you're being pulled by, like...
Oh, no, because they weren't, like, I don't know. You could be... I don't know! We have to...
We'll watch it.
We'll have to watch it. I don't know how I feel about this. I was ready for the Saw series to be done. You know, there was talk of them rebooting it, remaking it. I was just like, no, leave it alone, let it be. You know, you had a good run. You were popular for a while. You made plenty of money off the series. Just let it be. But now they said, oh, now we got to spin it off and make a whole new series of films based off of Jigsaw. But it's basically going to be the same series, just called Jigsaw now. Jigsaw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, how many they want to make. What are your thoughts on this one, guys? I don't have a whole lot to say. I'm kind of just disgusted that they're coming out with more. But what do you think?
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
Oh, I haven't seen any of the original ones.
Yeah.
So I can't really speak to that. Mm-hmm. But with that being said, I like, again, because I haven't seen any of the other ones. So the concept, which I know that it's been overplayed because it's the concept for every single one of these, is to, find different ways to kill people and all that kind of stuff and whatever. I don't know why, as I was watching the trailer, I put myself in the shoes of the victim very easily. And so, like, I felt like in an instant I lost all control of what was going on around me. Oh, and I'm just like, yeah, no, that's pretty fucking scary. Like, if something like that were to happen to me.
Well, I mean,
so,
Jigsaw's thing is that he takes people who are morally ambiguous. I mean, they've done some bad things in their lives, but they're not always bad people. Some of them are really bad people, but some of them just have had a bad run. Like, some of them are just drug addicts who have been trying to quit but can't. And some of them...
that sucks. That's like That's like a disease. It's not something they can help.
Well, yeah, but Jigsaw...
No, they deserve to die.
Jigsaw's philosophy is that mankind has forgotten the value of life. And through these traps, he's teaching people the value of life. By if they can survive, they now value their lives more.
Man, aren't serial killers awesome?
Oh, yeah.
They are.
They're really great philosophers.
Yeah.
Dipshit.
Well, and his thing... And again, not to get onto the plot of Saw that much, Jigsaw was diagnosed with terminal cancer. And at that point, that kind of drove him nuts because he couldn't get any type of cure. And he just said, you know what? I now value my life. And then he saw everyone around him not valuing their lives. And he decided that with the money he had left, he was going to spend it teaching people how to value their lives. Yeah.
Cool. Couldn't have taken up, crocheting or anything, huh?
No.
How could you teach anyone if you crochet something?
You get a group. And you crochet, really interesting sayings. Like Instagram photos with a sunset and then a nice little, saying on them.
Uh-huh.
Except crochet.
Sounds good to me.
Follow your dreams.
Sure.
Or get your head cut off by a buzzsaw.
Yeah. Let's play a game.
So, yeah, the message has obviously been lost at this point. It's just about how you can brutally kill some of these people, and what you can get them to do to save their own skin. So, Goddess, I want your opinion on this one, definitely.
Well, I don't like the way this was another trailer that I don't think was put together well.
No, it was not.
Because there's too much happening. So, you're showing all these different people, and then you're showing people with buckets on their heads chained to a wall. And then there's, other people without buckets on their heads chained to a wall.
Yes.
And then it's, other people in a different wall that are chained to other people.
Yeah,
or
something
what the hell? How many chains on people are you putting
there?
in different rooms with and without buckets on their heads?
Yeah, you have to have the control group and then the variable A.
Look, he has a very
variable B.
specific fetish, okay?
I get it now.
Just chains with buckets on heads on walls. It's a very specific kink, okay?
Oh, wow. The Buckethead men got killed by the saws. Write that down.
Rule 34, it exists.
Oh, no. Don't you bring that into this. Oh.
I agree. This trailer was edited really, really poorly. And they did it because they're trying not to reveal too much about whether or not Jigsaw is there or not,
No, but they still could have done it better.
Oh, no. Oh, they could have, yeah.
I mean, you could show the traps and whatever better in the people, and not confuse everyone in the trailer better without having to bring in whether or not the real Jigsaw guy is there or not.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
I mean, it was so, confusing. It looked like the same people over and over again, dying but not dying.
Yes.
In, 500 different scenarios.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, is this real? Is this just, things that they're thinking about? Or it was really weird.
Yeah.
I didn't like the trailer.
So no, I don't plan on seeing this. I still enjoyed those first 3 Saw films. I mean, there are some plot holes in them, but if for what they were, they worked fine. And I appreciate a film that doesn't have much of a budget and can still give me some enjoyment. So I don't plan on seeing this. So just enough, guys. Let it be. Let Jigsaw rest. Let him, cut his own head off or something. I don't know.
Cool.
In a bucket.
In a bucket, yeah.
Nice.
Moving on to our next trailer, which is The Disaster Artist.
Yes.
Take 13. Action.
I did not hit her. Okay. Line.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark. Take 67. Action.
I hit her.
No. Do you want to change the line?
You're doing great, man. We'll get there.
Action. Action. Action.
You have to
Action.
say it loud. I can't hear it in here. Say action so I can hear her.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
Yes.
Directing this, we have James Franco, who is starring and directing in it.
Oh, yes.
We also have Dave Franco. We have Seth Rogen, Josh Hutcherson, Zach.
Josh Hutcherson is in this?
Yes, he is.
Oh.
We have Zac Efron. We have Alison Brie, Hannibal Buress, Melanie Griffith, Sharon Stone, and Jackie Weaver. That is a damn good cast to have in this, considering what they are making.
Right.
So for those of you who do not know, this is based off the book of the same name, The Disaster Artist, written by Greg Sestero. Greg Sestero was one of the actors in a film called The Room, which is what this trailer and subsequent book was based on, and his adventures with a strange director, actor, writer by the name of Tommy Wiseau. For those of you who may not know who Tommy Wiseau is, where the hell have you been? Have you been on the internet? Tommy Wiseau directed a film called The Room, and The Room is probably one of the worst films, if not the worst film of all time. Yes. And this book was Greg's basically autobiographical story of what occurred while making this film. And him having this weird friendship with Tommy, him trying to figure out just who and what the hell Tommy Wiseau is. Because to this day, Tommy Wiseau has been very, very vague about his background, about his upbringing. He does not say where he's from. He does not say, when he moved to America. There's very little known about him. All they know is that he has a strange, how should I phrase this? A strangely large income to blow. He has a lot of money in his name, and somehow he's able to completely finance this film on his own. Even though the film was incredibly poorly made, people walked out constantly. This was a story that obviously James Franco decided needed to be made. So, let me ask first, who here has seen The Room?
Me.
You have?
I have not seen it in its entirety.
I should say I've seen the entire riff tracks of it.
The
I haven't
riff tracks.
actually seen the entire vanilla film, the regular film.
I have seen the entire vanilla film, but it was the Adult Swim version. So it was edited.
Okay.
Because they go heavily censored, because there's some stuff in there you obviously can't show on Adult Swim, even if with it being Adult Swim. It was about 20% of the film is just black boxes all over the screen. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. But I did sit down and watch that Adult Swim version, and it's a piece of shit. I mean, it's an endurance test. I have not read this book, but I really want to read this book. And not only that, I want to see what the hell happened in the making of this film.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because, as you see in the trailer, and this is actually the truth, they had hundreds of takes of that one line, which is, I did not hit her, it's bullshit, I did not hit her, I did not, oh, hi, Mark. And he just kept forgetting the line over and over. A line that he wrote, by the way. He wrote that line, and he couldn't remember it. And they were just there for apparently 7 or 8 hours doing that one line, just eating up money. And there were...
Sorry, I didn't realize that. You probably said it, and I was just totally zoning out that.
No, it's okay.
That it's A24.
Yes, it is A24, which makes me...
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
makes
okay, so he didn't say it?
I don't think he said it.
Oh my gosh, how did he not say it?
I know. That's the first
Like,
word
that's why I was really... So that's why I really thought that I wasn't listening or wasn't paying attention. But, oh, wow, okay.
Sold.
I'm not going to say more right now. What do you guys think about this trailer? First off, the concept of it, and would you like to see it? I'm sure a lot of people would much rather see this than the actual film.
I don't know. That riff tracks is really good. It's really good.
I feel like I need to see The Room before I see this, though.
I think it is a rite of passage.
Yeah,
it is.
I need to, because, again, I haven't seen it in its entirety. But, yeah, I need to. And because I really want to see this. And it looks like they're actually getting relatively good reviews, like, I guess, early reviews and stuff.
Sorry. It's okay. It debuted at South by Southwest just this past March. And the crowd who saw it at South by Southwest absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I really do want to see this. I will say before we get further into it, everything okay over there?
Yes. Are we disturbing you?
No, I just don't know what's happening.
I forgot how couches work.
Oh, is that what happened? Well, you sit on them and you relax.
What?
As long as you remember how to sit, I think you'll be okay.
I forgot.
I don't know how I feel about James Franco's impersonation of Tommy Wiseau.
I really liked it in this trailer.
You did?
Me too.
Oh, yeah.
It seemed a little off to me. I don't know.
That's because he's playing Tommy Wiseau.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
It's gonna be, everyone has their own impersonation of Tommy Wiseau. I get that, but
I think he nailed it.
I thought he
I
did
think
a
the
really
look
good job,
and the body language.
Yeah.
The voice, no one's ever going to just be able to do that.
Right.
no, the body language worked. The wig looks awful.
Yes.
But I like that.
I think it was supposed to. And I think James Franco is just the right amount of weird to do it too.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I'm glad that he's doing the role. Obviously, he's passionate about this because he's directing it, and he wants to do this story right.
Right.
So I'm confident that he's going to make this as best of him as he can. He's only directed a couple of films up until this point. Not too many notable films. I think one was like a student project or something. But I'm interested in seeing how he directs. You know, because admittedly, trying to make a good film about a movie that is a bad film is going to be pretty difficult. I mean, I'm reminded of something of obviously Ed Wood, which is probably the only thing that could mirror this possibly. But even that, I mean, Ed Wood is not Tommy Wiseau.
He's his own brand of strange. I guess.
Right.
Was that Depp?
Yes, that's Johnny Depp. Yeah. I don't know really much. There isn't a whole lot more to say about this one other than I really, really want to see it.
Yeah, I'm excited to learn and see kind of behind the camera for this,
There are moments where, I'm thinking back on the film, how they're going to do it in this film. Like the scene in the flower shop.
Right.
Why the fuck was it so quick?
I really hope it was like Sharon Stone or somebody playing the flower shop.
Yeah.
That would be really great.
Here's $20. Keep the change. Bye-bye, doggy.
You're my favorite customer. Goodbye. It's because he wasn't allowed to be in there.
Right.
Hey,
jackass, I'm closing in 20 minutes. Keep the change. Bye-bye, doggy. Bye. Oh, shit. All of the awkward sex scenes that were in this film, like Tommy Wiseau looking like he's having sex with her belly button. It's like, it's not that tight, guy. Come on.
Yeah, right. Tommy Wiseau with a merkin.
Yeah, oh God.
Yep.
Don't need that imagery. I got nothing more to say. I really want to see it. I really hope it's good, considering that it has the blessing of the writer, obviously.
Yeah.
And
that's the guy that played Mark, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Wait, what was that?
The guy who wrote the book, The Disaster Artist, was in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah. He played Mark.
Yep.
Who was probably the only classically trained actor in the cast. And even then, he wasn't like a great actor. He just had gone to school for it, And him, he accidentally convinced Tommy Wiseau to make this movie.
Oh, no.
I'm reading up on it. They went and saw another film that had Matt Damon in it. And Greg had said to Tommy Wiseau, oh, I think this character in this film is kind of like you. And Tommy Wiseau said, oh, well, then I should make a movie. And Greg's like, no, I'm not saying that at all. Yeah. And so he wrote this story based off this character in this film that was like a copyrighted character, but he changed the names just slightly. He named the character Mark after Matt Damon because he thought Matt Damon's name was Mark Damon. Yeah. Just a whole bunch of weird shit like that. I'm gonna try and get my hands on one of these books because I really want to see what they'll happen.
Yeah.
But even more so, I want to see this movie. So I really hope it's good. I can't wait to see it.
Definitely.
Moving on from that, our next trailer is The Shape of Water.
This may very well be the most sensitive asset ever to be housed in this facility.
You may think that thing looks human. Stands on two legs, right? But we're created in the Lord's image. You don't think that's what the Lord looks like, do you?
This creature is intelligent, capable of language, of understanding emotions.
Directing this, we have Guillermo del Toro, who... What?
The shit out of shape.
Get the shit out of shape.
Sorry.
It's Mystery Science Theater.
Yeah, what?
That was...
I forget the name of it.
Oh, it's the really long one. The incredibly strange creatures that stop being human and turned into zombies or something like that. Yeah. That really long title. There's a sequence in there where it's a bunch of like middle-aged women dancing, and the song is called Shook Out of Shape. But it sounds like she's saying "shick out of shape." So it's really about just women shaving their legs.
Right. Of course.
I heard a critic talking about it one time that said that the funny thing to do is when you watch that scene, just pick one woman to follow, and it just how terrible like each one of the dance. Like when you watch them in unison, it doesn't seem bad, but when you watch one by themselves dancing, it is the worst dancing imaginable.
Nice.
What the fuck is going on?
You are having problems over there, aren't you?
Yeah, but now my cookie's in front of me, so life is good again.
Oh, has it been an hour?
It's been close to an hour.
Now it's 8:04 is cookie time.
Ah, okay. Well,
not a minute less and not a minute more.
You bastards.
You're going to see his skin turn fluffy and blue, and then he's going to start just chomping.
Hopefully the cookie will get rid of that.
But directing this, we have Guillermo del Toro.
Oh, yeah.
He directed many great films: Mimic, Pan's Labyrinth, Pacific Rim, and most notably Hellboy 1 and 2, which we're going to discuss in a little bit.
We have to. Okay.
In this film, we have Sally Hawkins, who was recently in Blue Jasmine, as well as Paddington. We also have Michael Shannon. We have Richard Jenkins, who was in... he's had a good career. He was in The Visitor, the American remake of Let Me In. We have Octavia Spencer, and we have Doug Jones. Now, you may know Doug Jones as one of those kind of bodysuit actors. Like, he doesn't have too many speaking roles. He's a good actor, but he plays a lot of monsters in films.
Was he the monster in this one?
Yes. His first role was actually the part of Billy in Hocus Pocus. Do you remember the zombie in Hocus Pocus?
Yes.
Yeah. That was Doug Jones. It was actually one of his first roles. But he was also the monster in Quarantine. He was the monster with eyes in its hands in Pan's Labyrinth. If you remember that.
That scene.
It's so good.
That's why I couldn't watch it. I couldn't watch the movie because I saw that scene in the trailer and I was just like, nope.
He was that monster. And he played Abe Sapien in Hellboy 1 and 2. Now, think about that. What was Abe Sapien in Hellboy?
A character with that name.
It was a waterman.
Correct. He was a blue amphibian creature that...
I like the term waterman.
Waterman.
I like that too.
John D. Waterman.
John D. Waterman. I like that. Now, I say that because Del Toro is calling this a standalone film. The premise of this film is that you have this young mute girl who is working as a janitor in this government complex. You don't know where it is, but she's just going around cleaning up gum on the floor and polishing walls and stuff like that. And then one day she goes into like this weird water laboratory, and then there's this creature in a tank that is this weird blue amphibian creature.
Is it blue?
Yeah. When it stands up, it's blue and black. Yeah.
I thought it looked kind of greenish.
It could have some tints of green. Yeah.
I'll go back and see it.
It could just be like because it was in the water, but it looked kind of blue-black to me. And she befriends this creature. Now, the government is experimenting on this thing, trying to figure out what the hell it is. But it doesn't really speak, but she starts giving it eggs. She starts like feeding it and like playing songs for it and kind of dancing for it and stuff like that. Then she realizes that the government's basically going to cut it apart and dissect it to see what makes it tick. So she decides to try and rescue this creature, and that's the premise of the film. Now, to look at the creature and to see who's playing the creature, it makes a lot of people think that this is a Hellboy prequel. To look at the creature with the way it's designed, with how the eyes look, with the fact that she's putting out eggs for it because Ape Sapien loves eggs. That's one of his things from the first Hellboy. It tells me this is probably a Hellboy prequel. They just don't want to say it's a Hellboy prequel. Because this isn't about Hellboy. It's about Ape Sapien. Which I loved that character, so I would love to see a prequel about him. He's very, very old. I think they said he was born the day Abraham Lincoln was assassinated, which is why they gave him the name Abraham. But they might be like kind of retconning him, because it sounds like they said they found him in the Amazon, because like the Amazonians worshipped him or something as a deity.
Yeah, but here's the thing. This is all conjecture. We don't know any of this.
Oh, no, we don't. No,
Right.
This may not be a prequel at all. This may be a standalone film.
Right.
I'm just saying the similarities between this and that character are many, many, many. There are a lot of them.
Right.
Or maybe Guillermo, a good friend Guillermo.
Your good friend Guillermo.
Yeah.
Or Big G, as I call him.
Yeah, you know. If he says it's a standalone film, maybe it is. But then, did he write Hellboy?
No.
The Hellboys?
Did he write the screenplay?
Los Hellboys.
Did he write the screenplays for it?
Yeah.
That I don't know. I mean, the original story was a comic book.
Yeah, I know that.
Okay.
I'm talking about the movies.
I don't believe he did. I don't think he was the writer on those. But I could be wrong.
Maybe he's just putting these things in as like an Easter egg kind of thing.
Like an homage to the other stuff.
Not just be like, oh, hey, get this joke. But it's this totally different character.
Easter eggs, because there's multiple eggs on it.
I'm going to get up and stab you.
Oh my God.
Maybe we can blow his head up if we stare at it longer.
Put a bucket on my head.
Yeah. You get the bucket.
Anybody got any chains?
Well, you know.
It's for later.
Oh, my. You bring the saw, I'll bring the bucket.
Oh, my. No, and like this is again all conjecture. But I will say I would love for this to be a Hellboy prequel because I loved the Hellboy films. I thought they were. I didn't
guess what?
What?
It's not.
Your dreams are filth.
Okay. Well, I know they
I'll
are.
just eat that sadness and move on with my life.
Well, I mean, if he's saying it's not, if he's saying it's its own movie, then guess what, guys? All of this is for naught because it's its own movie.
Okay.
You know how I feel about things.
Theories?
I'm not. Yes.
You don't like theories.
I'm not going there.
You don't like it when he jumps down that rabbit hole and
No, it makes me want to strangle things.
Just
strangle me.
No.
Yeah, just put dirt in the hole. He probably won't be able to get back out of it.
Oh, okay.
My theories have put the fangirl to sleep. Shows you.
Yeah, that's not a theory. That's in practice.
Yep. Well, we're not joking, guys.
Sweet little angel.
When she's sleeping.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Now you've done it. You woke the beast.
Mike did it. I mean, I'm sorry.
What did I do?
Fuckhead the projectionist.
Fuckhead. Fuckhead the projectionist.
I didn't say head. I said fuck it.
I don't know. I kind of like fuckhead. I like the ring of it. Fuckhead the projectionist.
I don't know what's happening, guys.
I'm going to kill that one.
I'm sorry. I'm just.
Don't worry about it. Now, all this being said, the film is very stylized, like any Del Toro film is.
Yeah.
It's always
We're
that.
still talking about this one? Okay.
Yes. It's that particular aesthetic that he always has, and the creatures from his movies always tend to have that similar look. But it's a beautiful look. I like that look, but it's definitely Del Toro, like Burton has his own look,
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people have said that the style of this film reminds me a lot, and you had mentioned as we were watching it, that this looks like Rapture from the BioShock series. And I tend to agree with that. The music that's playing, the the cold, like bluish colors and gold colors that are everywhere.
Yeah, it's definitely that like alternate 50s, 60s kind of feel.
And even the font in the trailer is the font that is used in like Rapture, like to identify like different areas of the city.
It's
It
like
feels
Art
like
Deco.
it feels like BioShock. And like I was like, wait, like what? Like because everything is dealing with water. What if this was tied to BioShock?
Here he goes. He's going.
I'm leaving.
Somebody grab his feet before he gets down too far.
Just saying.
Yeah, would you kindly?
Would you kindly go jump on that saw over there?
Right, yeah. Would you kindly put this bucket on your head?
No, but I like that style. I think that's a cool aesthetic to have, you know. And the sets are it's hard to comment on sets, but it's a very beautiful aesthetic, and I like that aesthetic.
Yeah.
The cast behind this is great. The actor playing the creature is a very good creature actor, so I have faith that the creature is going to look good. So I would really like to see this. Even if it is not a prequel for Hellboy, I would still really, really like to see this.
Or a prequel for BioShock.
Or a prequel for BioShock. Or a spin-off from BioShock. Yes.
Is Ken Levine attached to this at all?
Ooh, I don't know
looks
about that.
excellent. I'm really excited for this. Just the style of it, just the whole thing. The cast, like you said, looks really good. Mm-hmm. She looks great in it, the lead actress. I really like her in it.
Sally Hawkins. Yes.
Yeah.
I never saw Blue Jasmine, but I heard she was really, really good in that.
Yeah, I've never seen it either.
So you slept through this one, sorry.
Yeah. So I don't have, yeah.
This is what happens. We're either extremely hungry during the podcast or we're extremely sleepy during the podcast.
This is
Jet lag.
Yeah, that.
Huh.
I was gonna say a different word, but that works too.
I don't know what to say that you haven't already.
I did talk a lot. I'm sorry.
I mean, you can repeat everything. I haven't heard any of it, so.
Yeah. What new ideas?
But there's definitely more to it than just her trying to free it, right?
Oh, there is. Yes. I mean, we have.
She's like got powers, right?
I don't know if she wholly has powers. I mean,
Power of sign language.
Wow.
That might be a superpower for some.
It is to me. I don't know that shit.
But it looked like she was controlling the water droplets.
Oh, I don't know if she was doing that or the creature was doing that for her, like tracking her
I thought it was like
finger. A what?
Like a window. Like it was raining outside and she was just like looking out the window.
No. That was a view from inside the tank.
You sure?
I'm pretty sure. Because there were bubbles rising up as she was doing that. So
Bubbles rise up in the air.
In the rain.
I'm pretty sure that was a view from inside the tank.
Maybe we're thinking about two different scenes.
Yeah, but you could be right. Maybe she was doing that herself. Yes, she has some sort of control over the water. Yeah.
Maybe he's Aquaman before he had reconstructive surgery.
So it's an Aquaman prequel?
Yes.
Nice.
He's going to be Jason Momoa later.
Nice. I support that.
Can I go to this plastic surgeon?
Yeah. Can I too?
Yeah, I want to be Jason
like,
Momoa too.
I know.
That's the only thing you can do.
I know that's the only that is his forte.
Right.
You go in there and you become Jason Momoa.
Everyone becomes Jason
okay
Momoa.
with
Change from a hobbit into a Samoan love god.
Samoan love god. Wow.
That's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
If there's nothing else, we're going to move into the next trailer, which is A Wrinkle in Time.
Your father has accomplished something extraordinary, also dangerous. He's trapped by a darkness that's actively spreading throughout the universe. And the only one who can stop it is you. Be a warrior. I'll try.
Directing this film, we have Ava DuVernay. She recently directed Selma, which I did not see Selma, but of course it got rave reviews. I believe she was the first African-American female to be nominated for Best Director.
Really?
I think so. But I'm pretty sure that was a thing. In this film, we have Storm Reed, who was what's that?
Oh, I just said, oh yes.
Cookie time. I was like, I don't know what's going on. I thought you're saying oh yes to Selma. Like, what?
804.
In this film, we have Storm Reed, who was recently in 12 Years a Slave. We have Oprah Winfrey. We have Reese Witherspoon, Mindy Kaling, Zach Galifianakis, Chris Pine, and Michael Pena. Pretty damn good cast, I'd say. Mm-hmm. Now, this is based around the 1963 novel of the same name. Who here has read this novel?
I have.
When did you read it?
When I was in middle school.
Same for me. It was actually my last year in elementary school I read it.
Yeah. Or something like that, yeah.
Yeah, it was mandatory reading.
I don't remember it. The only thing I did remember was it was confusing as fuck.
Oh my god, it was incredibly confusing.
I could not follow it, and I was just like, maybe when I'm older I can read this again.
I'm glad I wasn't the only one who was confused by this.
I was so confused. I was like, and probably at that time, my grasp of English was probably not the best either. So I was like, what the fuck is going on?
I mean,
I probably didn't have that kind of colorful language back then, but you know.
I mean, I don't know why they thought. I mean, I get the messages behind it, the idea of that, even kids can impact the universe,
Yeah, but I didn't get any of that because I didn't understand the fucking book.
Right, because the concepts they're dealing with, like interdimensional travel and
being
wormholes
on like different planes and things like that. I was just like, I don't understand. I can't imagine this. Like,
and I was like, why would you give this for mandatory reading for a 10-year-old?
Yeah, I just thought I was really dumb. I really thought I was just really exceptionally stupid when I read this book. And then I could not understand anything in it.
So yeah, and I have not read it since then.
Me
I
too.
probably should go back and read it now. I'll probably really enjoy it now because I love the concept of time travel and interdimensional travel and stuff like that. But I do remember it was kind of quirky. Like the characters are weird and kind of mischievous, and all three of these women in their own way could be Doctor Who, or just the Doctor, I should say. One of them is even named Mrs. Who, I believe, which I think is actually kind of a reference to that, because there's Mrs. Witch, Mrs. Who, and there's another one. They all start with W.
What? I know.
No, I don't think it's what.
It would make sense.
Yeah.
Nice.
But the story is that this 12-year-old girl meets these three women in her neighborhood, very eccentric women, and they tell this girl that her father has invented something extraordinary, which is in fact not time travel, but like basically wormhole travel, going from one place to another. Yeah. And that's one of the things that was dealt with in the book, the idea of they tried to teach kids about dimensions. Like I remember in the book there was like a graph of the first dimension, the second dimension, the third dimension, but then having how to travel through the fourth and then the fifth dimension and how to break through wormholes. And as a kid I'm like, what the fuck is this?
It's Mrs. Whatsit.
Oh, Mrs. Whatsit. Okay. Yes. So it was what? Yeah. And her trying to go and find her dad and taking this boy from her school and her like 6-year-old brother along for the journey. I hope they can translate that well to screen because like the fangirl and I were saying, it was a confusing fucking book. And if they can't translate that well, I don't see this doing well at all. No. I mean, to look at it, it looks to me like it's the crystal gems. I mean, you see the three women in the field and the way they're standing, the way they're presenting themselves. It's like, okay, this could be the crystal gems. And if it was a crystal gem movie, fuck yeah. But I don't think that's what they're doing here. So, I don't remember the character, so I can't say whether or not Oprah or Reese Witherspoon or Mindy Kaling would be good casting for this. I don't know what to say. What do you guys think about this trailer? Especially those of you who have not read the book. What do you think about this?
Oh, I don't know.
It was hard to follow.
Yes.
But not in a bad way. Like, I feel like the first trailer we did was really hard to follow in some of the sci-fi ways they were showing the weather and just a bunch of stuff that was going on.
Because it was thick and chunky.
Yeah, right. It was just coagulated awfulness.
Yes.
And it made me not want to care anymore or know anything about it. Whereas this one was like a lot going on, but I'm like, oh, I want to know what's going on.
Like what?
It looked
why,
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was hard to follow in a different way. It was kind of
It
like
drew you in.
Yeah. Like you wanted to find out and fill in the holes as to what was going on.
Yeah.
As opposed to that first one where it was just like, I don't give a fuck.
Right. Please stop. Stop. Yeah. I don't want it.
Not just that. I mean, I noticed that Disney has been picking up a lot more properties recently, a lot more fairly famous books. And I don't know if A Wrinkle in Time is that well known.
I thought it was. Like, well, back then when they made us read it, like, I thought it was, like, the shit. Like, I thought, like, everyone had to read it because, like...
I thought so, too. But if every kid felt like we did, is this something they're going to want to see?
That's the thing. Well, because I almost want to see the movie, so maybe it will explain it. So I don't have to go back and read the book because I'm having, like... nightmares just thinking about the book and how I didn't understand it. So, like, maybe the movie will explain things that I didn't quite understand.
Right. Another thing to remember about this, and this is something that I remember in school I thought was odd, several times in this book, they quote the Bible.
Oh, do they?
They do. One of the women actually, like, reads off, like, a verse of a scripture to the girl before she goes, like, trying to rescue her dad. Yeah. And I thought that was weird that they... I mean, the book isn't about Christianity. It's not. They definitely have some religious overtones in the film, and considering it's Disney, I think this is an odd step for them, because Disney has recently been leaning a lot more liberal, and because early Disney, as we all know, was very much Christian. They were that was their core demographic. They've been moving away from that lately, but now you have this book that isn't necessarily a Christian book. It's not, but it has Christian themes. So,
but it's also time travel and stuff, and it's like sci-fi, right? Like,
yeah.
So,
yeah. I mean,
I mean,
when you combine like sci-fi and Christianity, you get films like Knowing, which is complete horseshit.
Or Stigmata.
Yeah, Stigmata. Oh man.
How's your faith these days, Father?
God, I forgot about that movie.
Is that Richard Byrne?
Yeah.
No, Gabriel Byrne.
Man. I haven't seen that forever.
Terrible.
I'm interested in this, but I'm not going to go out of my way to see this. I want to wait for reviews. I want to see if it's going to be able to... Well, it's going to be a kid's film. I want to see if it's going to be able to captivate the kids, considering the heavy subject matter.
Well, and also the book didn't do it.
Right, right.
I don't know if it's, like, if it'll get through either. Like, because as you said, the subject matter is very dense, and everything about it is very dense.
Right.
It's like to be able to break it down and translate it into the big screen might actually be more difficult than... Because, again, when I was reading the book, I remember there was just... I couldn't do it. Like, I just couldn't.
It was your first moment as a kid of, I literally can't even.
Yeah. Like, I was unable to translate it into my own freaking imagination, which might be saying something more about my imagination more than anything. But okay, maybe I just have to go back and reread it. But
yeah, watch the film, then go back and read it.
Maybe then I'll understand it a little bit better.
Possibly. But I've got nothing more to say about this one. Do you guys have any closing thoughts on A Wrinkle in Time?
I don't think I'll see it in theaters, but maybe Redbox or something like that.
Okay.
I think I just want to see it for some answers.
Please explain yourself.
Get rid of that childhood trauma.
Yeah, I know. That's pretty much what it is.
Show me I'm not stupid.
I don't think it can do that. I don't think anything can do that at this point. But
she comes out, wow, I just really don't get it.
Moving on to our next trailer, which is Ready Player One. Hello everyone, this is Future Projectionist here. I just wanted to let you know that due to some unforeseen audio errors and audio issues, we are going to be unable to talk about Ready Player One this week. I apologize for that. We were really excited to talk about that one, but while we were recording that one part of the podcast, we had some really bad audio issues, so I apologize for that. I'm going to be cutting that from the podcast. Hopefully we'll be able to pick that up again next week for the anniversary, but if not, I sincerely apologize. But with that being said, let's move on to the next trailer. Moving on to our next trailer, which is a trailer redux, which is Thor Ragnarok.
So much has happened since I last saw you. I lost my hammer, like yesterday, so that's still pretty fresh.
And then I went on a journey of self-discovery, where I met you.
The abs are here.
Woo! I still don't understand.
What do you mean by abs?
Oh, there's a quickish shot of him with sexy abs.
Like without
and that's
shirt
it?
on?
Oh, yeah.
It's
super good.
How did I miss that?
Look,
all the other things I understand that I missed in trailers, but that? How did I miss that?
They were defined and glistening, and I have no idea how you didn't see them.
Oh, I think I might have been looking at Tom Hiddleston the whole time.
Or
like kept looking for Tom Hiddleston.
Right, you're like, oh, yeah, get out of the way, abs. I'm looking for Hiddles. Come on.
Which is weird because I like Chris Hemsworth a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah.
Yeah.
Hiddles' hair was bothering me though. It was really bothering me. It's almost like James Franco's wig in Disaster Artist.
Oh, no.
I was just like, oh, that's where I saw it earlier. She just borrowed it from the set.
Gotcha. So, I will say, right about, and we don't have to get into finer details. This is a trailer redux. The tone of this film still kind of confuses me, because Thor even mentions at one point, this is Ragnarok, the end of all things. Like, his teammates are probably dying. His people are dying. His home is being destroyed. But he's off having a laugh with Loki and palling around with Hulk.
I don't think he was having a laugh with Loki. Didn't he recruit Loki to fight a war?
Yes, he did, but it seems like they're being pretty friendly at times. And
Loki would fight with Hel because that's how it is in the story, and that's his daughter.
Oh yeah, in mythology, yeah, Hel is Loki's daughter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I also would have thought just in his character, even like if we went
just based on
his character within the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I thought that he would be like, well, screw this, I'm gonna fight with the winners.
So you're right. I don't know if it's something they're retconning here, or if maybe Loki will betray them.
That's what I keep, like, I was just, like, really scared watching this whole entire trailer. I was just like, oh my gosh, Loki's gonna betray them. I'm so scared.
I mean, because that would be the most chaotic thing for him to do, is to, like, you know, kind of help one side and then fuck over the other, you know, so.
He's gonna kill Thor.
Nice.
I mean, it's Ragnarok. Thor's supposed to die, and classically he would die, but they have to set up Infinity War, so I don't know if Thor's going to die yet.
Give him some time.
Yeah. But I'm worried about the tone, because it seems like they're kind of leaning more towards like Guardians of the Galaxy territory with this film, which I'm cool with, because I love Guardians of the Galaxy. And I know leading into the next few films, Thor is going to be interacting more with Guardians of the Galaxy. So, I mean, there's already been crossover for that. We have, you know, the Collector, the Grandmaster, who are tying into those separate universes. And I'm okay with Thor being a little goofy. That's fine, because the character in and of itself is a little goofy. I don't know how I feel about this character being this way at this time. It just seems a little weird to me. The tone may be problematic. That being said, the trailer is fucking cool. Tessa Thompson looks like a badass. I really like her character. I don't know what her character's name is, unfortunately, but I really like her character. I love that they finally have Hulk talking. We've seen very, very little of that throughout all of these films. And the character of the Hulk does, in the comics, routinely talk. I mean, yeah, he's an angry motherfucker and usually isn't talking and just beating the shit out of stuff. But when he stops, he does talk, and he's not just reverting back to Bruce, you know?
Right.
You guys have any thoughts on this one?
Oh, I'm so fucking excited.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah. I actually don't think I have as much of a problem with the tone because I feel like for all the Thor movies, they have been like that. There's always some sort of levity in the Thor movies, even if they're dealing with something that's more serious. Like even in the first one when they're fighting the frost giants and everything. And there's still moments where, like, when, you know, the fish out of water, when Thor is on Earth and things like that.
Yeah, that's true.
So I feel like Thor for these movies have been like that. Like, they have been portrayed in that way. So I feel like even though for the subject matter it might be a little bit different or it might be a little bit off, I feel like it's in tune with the rest of the Thor movies so far.
Okay. All right, that's fair. Did anyone else catch that maybe there was like kind of a reference to Doctor Strange towards the end of this? Because there's a creature at the end, the big flame like demon, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
I believe its name is I have it here, Sutor. He's a fire giant basically, and he's the head of one of the 9 realms. Muspelheim, I think is what it's called. I could be way off. I'm not up on the lore of the world tree and all that stuff, but I believe this is the head of the fire world. And with how big it is and how monstrous and flame it is, I remember back to Doctor Strange, which is, you know, like, Dormammu, I've come to bargain. Hulk just sees it and just says, you know, Sator, I've come to smash.
Right, yeah.
It's just like, you know, like you have the nice subtle way of approaching this big old fucking god, and Hulk's just like, no, I'm gonna beat the fuck out of it.
He's big.
I love that. I just love that. I'm just gonna charge in and fuck it. Now, the action looks great. I love the shot at the end of the lightning swarming around Thor and getting into his eyes and his skin. That is a cool shot because the hammer doesn't give him his powers. It's just a harness for his powers.
Right.
You know, he is still the lightning god. And I love that they're showing that finally, you know. He's more than just his hammer, you know.
Yeah, he's kind of regaining himself.
Right. Which I'm interested in seeing what's going to happen now that the hammer's gone. I mean, he's had other weapons in the past. He hasn't always had Mjolnir. I don't know if he's going to go back to one of his classic weapons, like the mace, or there was a sword for a while. I think he may end up reforging Mjolnir as like the Ultimate's weapon, which I would love, which is like the huge one with like the axe on the other side of it, which I would love. Where it's not even really Mjolnir anymore; it's just there to beat the fuck out of things because it's just a massive, heavy axe. You know? So, do you guys have any more thoughts on this one? I've been spewing for a bit. What did you guys think about this?
Yeah, I mean, the cast looks great. I love the style of it. I think that it's good that they have the levity in it and that could be a good counterpoint to fucking everything ending and the world coming, you know, to fucking destruction.
What do you guys think of Cate Blanchett?
Yeah. Yeah. See, so I'm watching it for Cate Blanchett and my SO is watching it for Chris Hemsworth. So we're good.
I mean, I'm watching it for everybody. Like, there's
That's
no
true,
way
too.
that you watch this and you do not melt at the sight of Cate Blanchett.
Yeah.
That headdress.
I like she's playing
Right.
as a baddie too.
That headdress
really excited for her to
is
play a
still.
villain.
Oh my gosh.
That headdress is
so
fucking
hot.
amazing.
Like,
whoever is the costume artist for her or the prosthetic artist for her, well done.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
looks fucking amazing.
it really does. And I didn't like the second Thor movie that much.
Not many people did.
I don't super remember it. So I'm hoping that this is going to be absolutely amazing. It's going to blow everything out of the water. Because I'm so excited for this.
I mean, we're going to have, I'm trying to think here, we're going to have one more film after this before we get Infinity War. Which, by the way, we're not talking about it. There was a leaked trailer for Infinity War coming out of Comic-Con. We're not talking about it because it's leaked. It hasn't been official. It's not official yet. And once that is released, we will talk
Do you
about
think
it.
it'll make it in time for our anniversary podcast?
I hope so.
That would be the bomb. I
yeah,
don't know why I said the bomb.
You're wicked hardcore.
I mean, usually when those trailers leak, they release them right afterwards. Like that happened with Suicide Squad a couple years ago, where they released it. It was floating on everywhere, and DC's like, you know what? Screw it. Let's just post it anyway.
Yeah.
DC did it kind of begrudgingly, but there were so many copies floating around that they might as well
might as well.
That's happening with this one now. Marvel's trying to pull down as many copies as they can, but they can't stop them forever. They're going to have to post this pretty soon.
So which movie is after this one before Infinity War?
Black Panther.
Oh.
That comes out in February.
Okay.
And then shortly after that is going to be Infinity War in May.
Nice.
It's coming up quick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So this one is probably going to lean heavily into the events of Infinity War, which I'm really, really excited for.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially given that it's not on Earth or anything. It's out in the...
Right.
Whatever. The outer realms? Or what do they call that?
The what?
Like where they're at, where Thor is. Like what is that called?
Like base?
You got this. You got this.
I'm sorry.
You can do this, Dystopian.
You're
Push through. You got this.
You're gonna be sorry. Make no mistake.
I love you.
Yeah, you gonna.
No, I mean...
What I mean is like, you know, where it's not the all world. It's not...
Okay, so...
What realm are they in?
They're in Midgard.
Okay.
That's we live on Midgard.
Yes, we live on Midgard.
Right.
And then there's... and I'm going to go to the goddess for this one. There's 9 realms, right? Midgard is kind of the center of the tree, obviously.
Right.
With Asgard basically being the top of the tree, and then many different levels sprouting off this way and that.
So like where the Grandmaster is and all, that's still in Midgard.
What's a Grandmaster?
The Grandmaster is
Goldblum.
Yeah, Jeff Goldblum. That is all still within the realm of Midgard.
Okay,
that is where Earth is.
That's what I wanted to know.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Now you can travel through Midgard to get to other realms.
Right.
But it's usually need to have some sort of portal or something.
Like how he gets the Asgard.
The tree?
Yes. Traveling through the tree, basically. Yeah.
Yggdrasil, I think. What's the name of this?
Yggdrasil, Nordrasil, something like that. Nordrasil.
Yggdrasil,
Yeah.
Damn, Warcraft stole one of them. It's either Nordrasil or something like that. That's the world tree in that game. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
And I get them confused between Nordic mythology and the video game. Yeah, they're in Midgard.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anything else?
When does it come out?
November.
I'm so excited. I can't wait. Like, I just want it to be here now. I really do.
Oh, you're sad. I'm sorry.
I want it.
You need your hiddles.
Well, no, I just need this movie. Like,
okay.
It's not just hiddles this time around.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, everybody.
Moving on to our final trailer for the night, which is a trailer redux, which is Justice League.
This world will fall. Like all the others.
One misses the days when one's biggest concerns were exploding wind-up penguins.
This is crazy. Honestly, I think we're all gonna die.
Each of us, in some way, is held back.
Don't engage alone. We'll do this together.
It's really cool. You guys seem ready to do battle and stuff, but I've never done battle. I've just pushed some people and run away.
Relax, Alfred. I'll take it from here.
Do I know you?
Now, I'll say this now. This will be the last time we'll be talking about Justice League before it comes out, because we've talked about this one plenty. But this was a big trailer release from Comic-Con, so I did want to touch on it real quick. I'll say it right now, Jason Momoa is looking better and better with each trailer. I didn't think he could be getting much better, but this character is fucking badass. Oh, and I love how they're doing Aquaman. He is how do I put this? He almost feels like the personality that Cyborg had in the Teen Titans cartoon. Like he's a very gung-ho, ready to beat the shit out of everyone kind of guy, you know? And Aquaman has never been that type of character, and I like that they're going that route. Aquaman has always been very stoic and upright and a Boy Scout, kind of like Superman. He's not the guy swigging whiskey and beating the shit out of everyone he sees. That's not Aquaman, but I like that take. You know, I don't like what they've done with other characters in the realm, Batman, but I like what they're doing with Aquaman. I think that's a cool twist on the character. All the other characters, I still don't like the look of Cyborg. I still think it looks a little too Michael Bay-ish.
Too Borgy.
Yeah, too Borgy, yeah. But his interactions with other characters are pretty good.
Yep. Like with Alfred.
Right. Well, what'd you guys think of this one?
Well, I haven't seen
Wonder Woman?
No, I saw Wonder Woman.
Oh, right, that's right. You did see Wonder Woman.
It's so good.
I still gotta see that.
Wonder Woman is so good. But I didn't see Batman versus Superman. And was there another one?
Man of Steel.
I did see Man of Steel.
Right.
Oh, that's it?
That's just those three so far.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then
Weren't there 2 Superman movies?
Batman vs. Superman was technically a Superman film.
Yeah, but I thought there was 2 Superman movies before that one.
There was Superman Returns, but that is not tied into this universe.
No.
But it's still the Henry Cavill one?
No.
No, that was another actor.
Never mind.
I forget who that actor was. And the Dark Knight series doesn't tie into this at all.
Yeah.
Right,
So,
I knew that.
So it was just Batman versus Superman then?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen that yet. Granted, everyone's like, oh, what's his face? Ben Affleck as Batman's not that bad. Like, I still can't, I don't buy it. Like, it's still not working for me at all.
I can buy it. I haven't seen him in any of the films yet, but I still think he would be an okay Bruce.
I feel like he's okay. Like, I feel like he doesn't embody it as well as I feel like other people could have, possibly.
I'm not saying there couldn't have been better
casting choice.
I still say Carl Urban would have been a fantastic Bruce. A fantastic Batman.
Great.
Yes, it would have. I would have loved him as Batman, but again, we're getting off point.
Well, okay, so besides that, though, just the washing outness of the whole...
There is a lack of color
Yeah.
in this DC universe. I will admit that, yes. And that's part of the Snyderverse. Now, that's something to mention that we haven't really brought up before. This is the first trailer we've seen which has been more Joss Whedon than Zack Snyder. Because Zack Snyder is now no longer directing this series. It is Joss Whedon.
Oh, wait.
Did you not hear about that?
What?
Okay.
Wait, what?
Okay. Well, I'll touch on this real quick. This occurred a couple months ago. Zack Snyder's daughter committed suicide.
What?
Yes.
That's awful.
Yes.
That's terrible.
Yes. And because of that, he decided to back out of this film. He is no longer directing. So he gave up control of the greater DC universe to Joss Whedon. Joss Whedon is now directing the greater DC universe.
What? Wasn't he... What?
Yes. Joss Whedon also directed the Marvel universe for a while. He's no longer doing it. It's now the Russo brothers who directed Civil War and Winter Soldier. So Joss Whedon stepped down from the Marvel universe just to come back and direct the DC universe.
I'm so confused. Okay.
You caught up now?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, that is unfortunate what happened with Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
But he said, my family is most important right now. I got to step away, and I'm leaving it in good hands. And I admit, yes, he's leaving it in very capable hands. If anyone knows how to make the massive team-up movie, it's Joss Whedon. He's the only one who's ever done it before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we're going to see more of Whedon in this film, which I'm happy for. I don't want it to just become the Marvel universe copied into the DC universe. I don't want that, but he is very capable of making this something slightly different than what Zack Snyder had been doing. Just all dark and gritty. And
I feel like for sure that we've already seen in this trailer that there seems to be, I mean, I guess it's not necessarily they changed the writing or anything, but the delivery seems a little bit different.
Yes.
It's a little lighter.
It is much lighter this time around.
Like, especially compared to Batman versus Superman, too.
Oh, yes.
Like, the trailers we've seen, obviously, because I don't think any of us have seen.
No.
Yeah.
Most of the humor we're getting right now is from Alfred and the Flash. But
Is that supposed to be Wally West?
no, I think it is Barry Allen.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's Barry Allen. Remember, he calls him Barry Allen in one of the earlier
Because I feel
trailers.
like he was definitely more Wally West than he was Barry Allen.
I would agree. Even as Wally West, I would say the character wouldn't be that quirky.
No.
But
I think Wally West is a little bit more quirky than Barry Allen.
He is.
So I felt like that's why I was confused as to who he was supposed to be.
Now, I will say the lines that the Flash have are funny. I mean, the Flash is the jokester of the team, and he's doing that in this. I like the line of, I just run up to people and push them and run away.
He actually reminded me a little bit of the Tom Holland Spider-Man.
Which I have not seen yet.
Yeah. I haven't seen Spider-Man, but I've seen Civil War.
Right.
But because they're both younger characters
Mm-hmm.
in a fairly, a more mature group of other superheroes and stuff. And, it's he's the younger character who's like making jokes all the time.
Gotcha. Dystopian Goddess. Do you have any thoughts on this one?
This is
this is coughing fit.
This is the sound of emphysema.
Jesus.
This is a series that I'm so far behind on that.
What do you mean behind on?
I haven't seen any of the newer DC movies.
Any three of them?
Nope.
Okay. Now, does this trailer make you want to see them or see this?
This one looked okay, yeah.
Okay.
I think, but it wasn't enough to make me really like, oh, I gotta go see it when it comes out.
All right.
Unlike Wonder Woman, which arguably I still haven't seen, but
made you want to see it.
Yeah, made me want to see it.
Yeah.
And I don't know,
I'm with you on
I'd
that.
rather see an Aquaman film, actually, because I like the look of Momoa and the look of his character.
I think we all would at this point,
And same with Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
But the others, I'm like, okay, yeah, I get that you're those characters, and
But, like, I
that's
don't
great,
need
but
any more of you. Like, as in, like, that's great if you were side characters in the Aquaman film or you were side characters in the Wonder Woman film. That'd be great. But, like, I don't need another standalone Batman or another standalone Superman or anything like that.
Yeah, it just didn't draw me in.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I'm with you that I'm more excited for an Aquaman film after this, but they're also going to make a standalone Cyborg film, and with the way that Cyborg is looking, I don't want to see a Cyborg film. I'm sorry, and I never thought I'd say that. Up until this point, I would have loved to have seen a Cyborg film, but this actor and the way it's being shown, I'm not that interested in it.
Yeah.
I kind of don't care about Cyborg right now, which is a shame.
Yeah.
I'll close by saying this. I am still excited for this film because I never thought, again, like the Avengers, I never thought I'd get to see a Justice League film in my time.
Yeah.
I'll see this. It's in good hands.
True.
And I do like that they're not showing Superman. Which, by the way, we were discussing that. I think the goddess would say it. It's like, spoilers, guys. Like, some of us have not seen Batman versus Superman.
Yeah, you see a little bit of a red shoulder that's probably his.
Yeah. Well, some people say that it might be Supergirl. Because in the trailer, you see them, Steppenwolf is saying to everyone, you have... What?
Slow ride. Take it easy.
Steppenwolf is the villain in this.
Those bastards.
Yeah.
They've come back from the 70s.
He says, all your heroes, you have, he says, no lanterns, no Kryptonian.
Yeah.
Now, that's important. He doesn't say no Superman.
Right.
He says no Kryptonian.
Yeah.
So he knows there's other Kryptonians around. Or no lanterns.
The people from Superman's home planet, like Supergirl.
Right, yeah, but he said no Kryptonians.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, no Kryptonian.
No Kryptonian.
Singular.
Yeah.
No lanterns, no Kryptonian.
Yeah, he says that.
So because it was singular, it means that there could be other people there.
What he's saying is that he's destroyed many other worlds that have had lanterns or had Kryptonians. He's saying, you don't have either of these here. How could you possibly beat me? Is what Steppenwolf...
So then
why would it?
I think I missed something. Whatever. Continue. I don't really care.
I don't think his sentence means anything about it being Supergirl or not.
No.
Well, I mean, but they have confirmed that she's going to be in these films. We don't know if it's going to be in this one or not, though.
Right.
Are you okay?
I'll hide behind my hair. You can keep talking.
Are you all right? She's going Carmen Sandiego on us.
I think we're getting past the witching hour.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say more other than I'm excited, and I hope it turns out well, because this has been a problem going forward with the directors and the problems with the cast. So I would love to see it, and I hope it's good, but I'm trying not to get my hopes up.
Right.
I'm not excited, but I'm gonna see it.
All right, fair enough.
Yay.
Like, again, I feel the same way as the Dystopian. It didn't draw me in or anything, but I'm like, I have to see it because it's the Justice League.
Fair enough. Well, let's move into feature presentations. We don't have too many this week. The first one being Atomic Blonde. So we talked about this one a while back, and the early press for this has been amazing. Each critic who's come out and just says, look, don't even watch my review, just watch this movie. Just get out and see it as soon as you can. So I'm very much looking forward to this one. What do you guys think about it?
I really, really want to see it.
Good. I mean, that's what every critic has said. Just go see it now.
It's impressive she's done all of her own stunts.
Yeah,
yes.
That was so cool watching the behind the scenes where she was fighting and everything. Yeah. I was like, oh, I want to be her.
That would be that'd be a fun movie to like go out and see as a group.
I would love to
cheer
see
her
that.
on. She's beating the ass.
I wouldn't mind seeing this with you guys. Sure.
Sorry, I'm burping.
Made her throw up.
Yeah.
With you guys.
But yeah, no, I would definitely see this. I think what's his face? Confucius 2.0 also really wants to see this.
I thought you were going to say someone in the film. I was like, oh, Confucius 2.0 is in this. Okay.
Yeah. He's a stunt guy now.
Oh, if he was in it and he didn't tell me, oh man, he would have been
I got news for you. Our next feature presentation is the Emoji Movie.
Why?
Next. No, none of us are going to be seeing this one. Although I did see a review the other day, or not a review, an interview with the director who basically said that this is a movie for
nobody.
Well, no. He tried to make it so deep. No, I know.
It's funny.
I'll have to try and pull up the interview later, but he basically tried to say that this type of movie is about someone who feels like they don't fit in when they're younger, like let's say someone who is a closet gay or someone who has on the spectrum of autism. He tried to say that the Emoji Movie is for those type of people. And I'm like, are you really trying to say that the Emoji Movie is for people who are gay?
I mean, I hope it does foster inclusion, but I don't
think this is the right vehicle.
I don't see what he's saying.
Yeah.
Like, and I could be misquoting him, but that was basically the gist of what he was saying in the interview. Like,
who knows? Hopefully it does.
Guy, it's about fucking emojis. Come on.
Ooh, I don't want to be fucking any emojis. That's weird.
Like the eggplant one.
Let's not.
Wonder if that's going to make an appearance. Or the peach.
Yeah.
Rule 34. Moving on to our next feature presentation.
Oh, yeah, the emoji porn parody after this.
Oh, it's coming.
God.
It's coming.
It's coming. You're right.
Stop. Moving on to our next feature presentation, which is The Dark Tower. Mm-hmm.
Oh, tasty taste. Yes.
Tasty taste? What the fuck is tasty taste?
I don't know, man.
Apparently,
I'm getting punchy.
Is there any room on that side?
Yeah, come join me.
Shift
on
over.
The normal side. I mean, but then I'm going to be making random robot noises. So.
There is no normal side in this podcast.
That's true.
Friend.
Here, come here. I'll protect you.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I really, really want to see this. The previews have been getting better. And I mean I'm still a little confused about the whole thing of this is a sequel to the last book.
Just read the whole series between now and then. And
of course. Right. Sorry, I forgot.
No, seriously, quit your job and read the whole series. Because if you've read the whole series, it'll answer that question.
Okay. And I kind of get where it's going. I haven't read the book since the first one.
Yeah.
So.
I'm excited to see exactly what it entails.
Right.
How far it goes. And
do you think I need to read all the books to be able to watch
it looks like
this?
they're doing a pretty good job of giving you context.
It does. But, I mean, I've read the first book, so I get some of the themes and the characters. But for someone going in brand new, it may be confusing.
Yeah.
But
hopefully they'll do a good job of getting just enough exposition to be like, this is the world, this is what it means, you know.
Yeah,
it's based because it's hard. It's basically a classic good versus evil story.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
The window dressing is different, but
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll have to. Yeah.
With concepts of deja vu time travel.
Ish. Yeah.
Ish. Moving on to our next feature presentation, which is
Never mind.
Fucking? No, we don't know.
What?
No, that's not a movie. Sorry. It may be a movie, but we're not talking about that.
Oh, it's a movie. Don't you worry.
Moving on to our next feature presentation, which is Detroit. Now, if you remember talking about this one, yes, the movie is called Detroit. You didn't think it was last week.
Yeah, we weren't 100% sure.
Is that the one with John Boyega?
Yes.
Yeah, that looks really excellent.
The previews for this have also been stellar.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a movie that I'm glad is coming out now. I mentioned before, I'm shocked it took so long to get this released, but this is an important film, and I'm glad it is getting released. What are your guys' thoughts on this one?
It looks good. I'm not interested.
Okay.
Just because it's, too heavy. For me.
And historical, and you're not a fan of historical films.
Granted, I'm waiting to see Dunkirk.
Dunkirk's been getting odd reviews. Almost everyone is saying this is fantastic filmmaking and it's important to see, but a lot of people are just like, there aren't too many characters in it. It's just kind of humans doing things. You don't feel the impact of it. But again, I could be wrong. I'll probably love the film because I love fantastic filmmaking.
Right.
But again, the critics have gone back and forth on that. Some people did sympathize with the characters, some didn't. So,
which is ultimately the point.
Right.
But yeah, I'd like to see it. I don't know if I'll see it in theaters.
Dunkirk or Detroit?
Oh, I'm sorry, Detroit.
Okay. Sorry, we got off on the tangent there.
That was my fault. I'm sorry.
Stay on target. Stay on target.
Loosen up!
I came from behind. Oh, Porkins.
Rip. Moving on to our last feature presentation, which is Kidnap.
What's that
What?
one?
Do you remember this one?
It's Halle
Nope.
Berry.
Yes.
Halle Berry.
Okay, I'm glad you guys forgot this because
Oh, it's like the Taken but not Taken.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm glad you
So
bring
it's
that
left?
up because this film has been delayed and delayed and delayed.
It was left there.
Yeah.
We talked about this one almost a year ago.
Really?
Wow.
Yes, and it has been delayed so much because it is such a piece of shit that it keeps getting pushed back, and they keep trying to re-edit it, trying to find a way to salvage this film, and they can't do it. And then finally I said, you know what? Push it into that little bit of a dumping ground in August, and hopefully some people will see it because of Halle Berry. The few people who have seen early press screenings of this have all said, you guys don't know what you're in for, because this is one of the worst films of the year. Now, again, I have...
Maybe she'll get another Razzie.
Oh, she'll love that. The early press has been abysmal. I have not seen it, but I'm just going by what I've heard from other critics, one of which happened to be with Double Toasted. And he had said a few very colorful things about this.
Imagine that.
Yeah. So what do you guys think about Kidnap?
Well, considering we didn't even remember
I was
it.
gonna say,
Right.
Hope you find a better project, Hallie, next time.
Right.
Good luck with all that. No, thank you.
I think it's a pretty hard pass from all of us.
I think we'll all pass. Yep. Well, that's going to do it for tonight's podcast. I want to thank the fangirl for coming by.
Pew, pew, pew.
Pew, pew. I want to thank the Goddess of Gore for coming by.
Pass.
I want to thank... You killed the Dystopian.
Oops.
I want to thank the Dystopian for coming by.
Yeah, always a pleasure. Happy that...
Cookie?
Yes, cookies make me happy. Now, why am I blanking on the name? I'm glad that the Dark Tower's finally here.
Oh, yes.
And we're going to watch it.
But so now that we're closing, you can have another cookie if you'd like.
Oh. Life is good.
And I, once again, am the Projectionist. And just to remind you again, the next time you hear this podcast will be the anniversary podcast. So you have a couple of weeks to submit questions if you'd like. Go ahead and submit them on Podomatic, on Facebook, on YouTube, whatever format you'd like to submit them. And with any luck, you'll have them read on this podcast. So thank you again for tuning in. Have a very good day, and take care.
Bye.